So we are at the end of a sermon series. And it's been kind of a long sermon series. It's taken up the whole summer. There have been a couple of breaks in there for other things. But it's been a lot. And I know for some of us it's been hard. It's made us think in new ways. It's asked us to think in new ways, to believe in new ways, to consider new things. So I want to thank you all, especially those for whom this has been a little difficult, for coming along with me on a journey. Because that's an important thing to do. That's one of the things that we learn to do in church. We are, as I sometimes say, practicing Christians, and practice makes progress. We do the best that we can, and then hopefully we learn to do a little bit better, and we do that. And we do that over and over again until we are, as our reading today said, perfected in love. So thank you. I want to take just a moment to review where we have been. Because we talked about pronouns. We talked about God's pronouns and our pronouns. We talked about how God created humanity in their image, and about how humanity is diverse. Humanity includes all of these different folks, so that image has to be a lot. And about how God, who doesn't have a body other than us, who doesn't have genetics other than ours, who is unique, who is the only God, defies things like gender and number. And so whatever image of God is in us must defy those things too. We talked about the things that we don't talk about in church, kind of a meta conversation about the things that we avoid, the things that we obscure, the things that we just keep quiet. We made a list of some of them, and we talked about some of the reasons we don't talk about those things. And we talked a little bit about how we might start talking about some of those things. We talked about the ways that we are hurt, the ways that we are harmed, and about the ways that Christ, God with us, was hurt and harmed, and about how Christ carried those wounds with him even after the resurrection, about how we carry our wounds with us all the way through, and about how those wounds, even those harms, even those hurts, might somehow, some way, someday be redeemed. We talked about boundaries, and about how some boundaries are good, but about how boundaries between people, the inside and the outside, are not. And about how we are called to tear down the walls that we make that separate us from each other. We talked about bodies. Specifically, a eunuch's body, and about how bodies can keep us on the outside, but about how even our bodies that are a little messed up sometimes, or a little different, or a little strange to people, how our bodies are invited into God's reign of love, how that eunuch's body was invited into God's reign of love, about how no body can keep us out, about how every body is welcome here. We talked about performance, and about how so much of being human and fitting into the categories that we are offered is about performance, about being this way instead of this way. We talked about how Joseph, with his fabulous garments, his amazing clothes, was not constrained by performance, could be himself before God. And about how we are not constrained by performance, but can be ourselves before God. And we talked about desire, and about how desire comes in all sorts of different forms and different shapes. There are spouses and partners and friends and colleagues, folks in our community, how we want to be together, and about how we toss up barriers to being together, to being united as one body by one Holy Spirit. But how desire, as long as it is rooted in love, as long as it is rooted in compassion, as long as it is rooted in care, is a holy thing. And now we're here at the end. There has been, I hope, through all of this, a thread. A thread that has been woven sometimes subtly, sometimes less subtly throughout. And so now I want to spell it out for you. Make it clear, draw the subtext into the text. There are people. There are folks. There are pastors and politicians and leaders who want to make little boxes to put us in. Little boxes that are labeled, let's say, man and woman. And they want to say everyone can be sorted into one of those boxes. Little boxes that maybe say gay and straight, and everybody can be sorted into one of those boxes. Little boxes that say black and white, and other races as well, and everyone can be sorted into one of those boxes. They want to make little boxes and sort us each into our own, and into boxes inside boxes, and tell us how to be. And I call those small boxes because they are small boxes. We don't always realize how small they are, but if we take the ones that say man and woman, they are small boxes. There are people who want to tell us, you are a man and here is how you be a man. Here is how you dress. Here is how you act. Here are the hobbies you have and the jobs you have. Here's the education you get. Here's the language you use. Here's how you treat people in your box and in the other box. That is how you be a man. And to be a man, and you must be a man, you must fit in this box. And if you are a woman, well, if you're a woman, you must dress this way and act this way and have these kinds of hobbies and get this kind of jobs, do these kinds of things, get this sort of education. If you are a woman and you are a woman, if you're going to fit in that box, you must be this way and treat people in the other box this way. There are people. There are pastors, there are politicians, there are leaders who want to make these small boxes and fit us into them. And here's the thing. Here is the hard truth, because it is easy to think I can fit in that box. I can make do in that box. I can figure out that box. I can fit in. It'll be okay. I just need to give up a little bit of myself. Here is the thing. None of us fit in these boxes. I am a man who likes to cook. I am a man who likes to care for people. I'm a man who played the cello. I do not fit in the box that some people want me to fit into. And it is those small things, those little things that we think are no big deal, that can thrust us out of the box, that can make people come in and turn us and twist us and try to get us to fit. I know women I know women who like to do woodwork. I know women who wear pants. I know women who like to do those things that were traditionally reserved for men. I know women who are being told by pastors and politicians and leaders that they do not fit into the box labeled woman. None of us, not one of us fits in these boxes unless we are twisted and turned, unless our muscles are stretched out, unless our bones are broken. And that's why this is so important. This isn't just me talking, and I know I can talk, and I know sometimes it's just me talking. I have no illusions about that. This is stuff that is going on in the world. These are policies that are being passed. These are laws that are being made. And I have friends, I have colleagues, I have folks who stand in their own pulpits who are scared because they are being told, get in the box. And I get it. I get that desire to categorize. I get that desire to contain. I get that desire to put folks into boxes. And there can be some comfort in that. That if I can say, here is my box, and here's what I've got to be, and here's what I've got to do, and here's what I've got to wear and learn, here are what my hobbies are, it's a pre-made identity that I can take on. I can be safe in my box as long as I'm willing to be disturbed and distorted in my box. As long as I am willing to take the pain to be remade, I can live in my box. And once that pain is over, there might not be any pain anymore. And if there is, maybe I can be loud enough to get everyone else in their box. And if we're all in our boxes, we're all safe. And if we all know the rules, we're all safe. And if we all have it nice and clean and crisp, we're all safe. And maybe the pain will end then. But the truth is that it won't. We will still hurt. We will still be hurting each other. We will still be hurting that image of God that is in all of us. We will be handing over ourselves to the powers of sin and death and everything that makes life less. And at the last minute, we might recognize that we are marred by sin, that we are oppressed by death, that our life that could have been so much has been made less and less and less until it has been nothing but being in a box. I don't want to live in a box. I don't think any of us want to live in a box. I don't think any of us want to be contorted in a box. I don't think any of us want to be stretched in a box or compressed in a box or broken in a box. So what if there is another way to go? In that very first sermon in the series, when we talked about the image of God, I suggested that people have been trying to figure out what that means for thousands of years. We have been searching for that image of God. We've been looking at each other and all of the differences between us and said, what could possibly be the image of God that all of us bear? It can't be this body. Your bodies are different. It can't be this color. Other colors are different. It can't be this culture. Other cultures are different. It can't even be my sense of reason and rationality. Because others are different. How can there be an image of God that unites us all, that makes us all somehow, in some way, the same? And I'm going to propose an answer. I'm going to propose an image of God, and if you have literally ever listened to one of my sermons at all, you know what is coming. It is said that every pastor has 3 sermons. We just dress them up differently from week to week. The image of God, the thing that is in each of us, and around each of us, and between all of us, is love. You see, God is love. If you don't know love, you don't know God. But if you know love, and you do, and if you love others, and you do, and if you are loved, and you are, if you wrap yourself up in love like a burrito, like a quilt, like something that can keep you warm even if it came from far away, even if you are far away from everything that you know, even if it is a cold winter's night, if you wrap yourself up in love, then you know God. Then you abide in God. And God abides in you. The image of God is love. The thing that we are called to do is love. And before you think that that is too easy, that that is too simple, that that is too fluffy, and I have been told those things. Love, it has been said, is a low bar. There should be rules. There should be laws. There should be boxes. This thing, this abiding in God stuff, this following Jesus stuff, this being a disciple of Christ stuff, this having the Spirit within you stuff, it should be hard, it should be difficult, it should demand everything, and I'm going to tell you, love demands everything. Love is the highest bar. Love is the strongest ethic. Love is the most difficult thing when it is difficult, and the easiest thing when it is easy. Love, more love is the thing that we are constantly striving for, that we are constantly seeking, that we are constantly trying to do. We can always grow deeper into it. We can always practice, and practice makes progress. We can always do the best we can until we know how to do better, and then we can do that. Love is not easy. Love is everything. And it means giving everything over to love. It means loving the one who it is easy to love. It means loving the one, learning to love the one who it is impossible to love. It means loving the Jesus who comes to save us. It means loving the Judas who betrays us. Love is hard. But if we are called to do anything, we are called to love and to keep loving and to keep growing in love and to keep going deeper into love until we abide fully and completely in love in God, and until God abides fully and deeply in us. Until that desire to be one, to be united in all of our diversity, all of our difference that defies race and gender and culture and number, till that desire is sated in God's reign of love. And so that is the takeaway from this whole series. Throw out the boxes. If you've ever had a pile of boxes in your house, the boxes that you saved, the boxes that were good boxes, the boxes that you would certainly use again, eventually, someday, you know what boxes can bring. That pile of boxes has all sorts of stuff in it, and it's stuff you don't want. That box is where the mice live. That box is where the cockroaches live. That box is where the spiders, not the nice kind, there are good spiders. There are radioactive spiders that will give you superpowers. There are deadly dangerous spiders that you don't want to come in contact with. Those live in the boxes. The powers of sin and death and everything that makes life less live in the boxes. So get rid of the boxes. Trust in God. Go and love. And let us do that until we abide in love. Until love completes us. Until love completes the world. And until we are finally all united, truly, completely, and fully as one body, by one Holy Spirit, in the love that is God.